All praise to the Most High. You know, I have been doing a lot of research. I have maps, everything. I was gonna get some extra tires for my car because I figured they keep saying, well, the lights are gonna go out. So why not be prepared? You know what I mean? I have everything to just go camping. Let's say like that. Everything you need to go camping. So what if it's nothing else to do, so you might as well just go. So after all this research, I just happened just this day, just this evening, you know, shocking. I had no idea, and then I'm kind of like, wow, it flew right over my head. And then check this out. We got a full moon coming fast. Okay, it's the 6th, 7, 8, 9, 10. Full moon in 4 days. Okay? And then this. I had no idea. And then, right where I think Big Judah even had a live. Like, well, didn't he have a like on the 4th or the 5th? He had a live? Okay, this happened on the 3rd. Not in no news. Nobody said a word until now that I found out. This is so significant. This is breaking news, because if you were on Big Judah's live, I don't know which one it was, just the recent one. The one dude I was talking about the Grand Canyon, and then he said that was the real Valley of the Kings. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if that was the real Valley of the Kings? Of course, there's something was buried there, and they haven't even really explored the whole thing. I think they're not allowed to, by the Most High, to explore the rest of the Grand Canyon. Especially after this white lady at the park walking my dog says she used to work at the Grand Canyon, was telling me all about it. It was shocking. You know, and I might go back over there when I go grounding at the park, because she walks her two little dogs, I think, every day. And I'm going to start talking to some more, because she said she wanted, when she died, she was going to get her ashes buried somewhere in one of those mountains. And I just looked at her, I was like, wow, you got plenty of money. Because I remember when my kids were little, and then my wife, one of her friends' husband died, and he had a funeral. His family invited us to a luncheon. They had like a little dedication, then a luncheon right on the beach, right there in Waikiki, and Duke's, this expensive steakhouse, and you can order anything you want, all that kind of stuff at Duke's. And they laughed and laughed, because I kept telling them I wanted to steal one of those badass tiki glasses, and the white folks kept laughing and laughing, thinking I was trying to steal it too. And then we went out on one of them Hawaiian boats, and she sprinkled her husband's ashes in the water in Waikiki. It was really cool. You know, I never experienced it. It was nice. So this white lady that I met at the park said she's gonna have her ashes sprinkled in the Grand Canyon. So then I have this connection. I'm trying to get there. So, all right, here, just listen to it. This is unbelievable.
Coming out of Colorado, where the Colorado River has turned blood red, and it is causing a great deal of alarm, because we know that the Bible speaks about the waters turning red. So are we going to just pretend that there is only a scientific explanation for this? One thing that I wanted to point out, even if there is a scientific explanation, this is not normal. So even with science, it's letting us know that something abnormal is happening that is causing the water to turn red. And this is not the first time we have seen this. This particular occurrence pops up from time to time. As a matter of fact, back in February, I think there was another area that experienced this. And over the years, we have seen other instances where the water was turning blood red, signifying that there is a problem. Something is going on. Something is going wrong. Now, before continuing on with this story, I want you all to go ahead and share the broadcast link.
It's going to be an AI, and then they're pretty much going to talk about what they were saying. But I wanted to see something more visual. Check that out. Oh my gosh. It's coming true and it's going fast. Google. Look. Well, some of them, but this one here, I don't know why this is just something believable, but this is Colorado River. And this one here, man, this one really looks bad. Wow, it's really messed up. It looks so scary. If they don't think this is judgment, I don't know what we could say, bro. And then I'm looking, it's all over the world, but that one in that Colorado River, that caught me off guard. Here goes some kind of $5 Indian holding a feather.
Okay, my friends, this is the Colorado River. It's just turned blood red in certain areas. And we're going to take a look into this right now because this is happening not only at the Colorado, but it's worldwide. All right, let me just explain to you. This is my take on this now, is that this region here was basically an impact site when Venus hit Earth, and it just tore this right down to the guts of the creature. That's why there's no volcanoes in here. In the Grand Canyon, almost no volcanoes, because they've ripped it down into the guts so they don't get all pressurized. This is Vermilion Cliffs. All right, look at what this is made of here, this area. Look at this. This is just a bloody mess. You see this? That's not your average biology. I mean geology. Just rocks and stuff. No. This is blood running out of here. There's so much blood here, it's unbelievable. What it is actually, the body parts of this creature, it's the guts. This has been ripped open, and normally it would be way out here. And you'd have to get way down in here before you get to these guts. Which means, if this was covered up and capped over, it would keep it from exploding, basically. But there'd be pops here and pops over here and over here. Depends on where there's a lot of biology, a lot of chemistry. And I can see green, these two colored greens right there. That it always indicates to me there's some kind of serious biology going on in this area. You see this over here? And they mine these things because there's different minerals and so forth in them, salts. But you see the whole area here. This could be up in the small intestine or something. I don't know. But this is, to me, this is guts. And I'm going to show you some just bloody guts. I don't know if I showed them to you or not yet, but Vermilion Cliffs, it's just all it is in there. And that's why they don't have a lot of volcanoes, because it's open to just sort of drifting out into space, where if it was capped off, it would explode. The warmer the climate gets, the more decomposition is going to happen deep in the earth. This just doesn't happen to be deep because it was gouged out. But virtually everywhere on earth is a creature's body underneath, outside, like Quetzalcoatl here. Everybody's, oh, this can't be. Yes, it is. There's no question, really, no question that's Quetzalcoatl. This is the size of these creatures we're talking about. This coloration here is his head. These are his beards. That's his eyeball area. This all up in here is his headdress. And he's spitting out into the gulf of whatever you want to call it. And this is his throat, is this river system. You see it? Goes right up around, and it curves right down his neck, goes basically underground at this point, all the way up his coast, and his feathers are still up here in the green feathered mountains. You see those? Those are feathers. That's called tectonic push and shove.
What?
These are.
I've never
feathers
seen this.
here.
I stumbled
That's
on
why
this
they
channel.
grow so green things here, because green, feather meal, they sell it to give to your plants to make them grow green. They say it's because it's got a lot of nitrogen in it. You see? These are all feathers sweeping up the coast, all the way up. See, there's feathers everywhere. This is his shoulder up in this area here. See that? That's it. Now, what's underneath there? He's not ripped open like over here. Now, let me show you Vermilion Cliffs. All right, the Colorado River is right near Vermilion Cliffs. They're totally intertwined. And this is the kind of blood running out from, this is intestinal tissue or something along that line. It's in the guts of that creature. And that creature is absolutely stunningly large. I believe the Grand Canyon was the impact site where we almost got hit by a fiery comet long ago, and it ripped the guts out of that creature. And below the surface is guts of creatures. I'm telling you, everything is made out of biology. And when we're looking at the surface of things, we're just looking at the surface. To get down into the guts, you got to really do some digging. And this was plowed out, I believe, by an impact of the fiery comet in that Grand Canyon region. Just ripped it right down into the guts. And that's what we're looking at right there. Okay, this is like 1,000 times more than the Grand Canyon up on Mars, because Mars got hit and crashed by Venus. We just got bumped. But the bump, I think, was what caused the Grand Canyon. And where did it bump? Well, here's where it bumped from Venus. And what is this? This is a welding scar. It's an arc, welding arc. Nobody can deny that. You go to any welder that does arc welding and ask them what that is, and they say it's a welding arc. Well, how would that welding arc get on top of Venus? Well, here's why. When it slammed into Mars, it stripped Mars of its magnetic field, literally sucked its magnetic field in as an electric discharge into Venus, causing